Donald Trump, the U.S. President. Credit AP. PhotoEvan. Vucci. Donald Trump's flagship tax cut is in jeopardy after Republican senators broke ranks to criticize the proposals. Congressmen from Mr. Trump's own party questioned the $1.5 trillion it would add to the deficit and a provision that would repeal a key part of Obamacare. The U.S. President went to Capitol Hill yesterday in an attempt to shore up support for the bill, which he initially wanted to call the cut law. Mr. Trump reportedly told congressmen to sell the changes as the biggest tax cut in history and wants the legislation to be passed by Christmas. The bill passed its first hurdle on Thursday after being approved by the House of Representatives, where the Republicans have a sizable majority. Paul Ryan, the Republican Speaker of the House, said, "We've got a long road ahead of us, but this is a very, very big milestone in that road." White House announces Trump's proposed tax overhaul. 0204. It now moves to the Senate, where the real political battle lies. Just 3 Republicans voting against the bill would be enough to defeat it. Given Democrat opposition, Mr. Trump has staked significant political capital on securing tax cuts after failing to pass any major legislation since entering the White House. The proposed law will slash corporation tax from 35% to 20% and scrap an inheritance tax known as the estates tax. It will also cut the number of different income tax bands from 7 to 4 and double the amount people can earn tax-free. Republicans have called it a tax break for middle earners, producing analysis that shows a family on the average $59,000 income would get a $1,182 tax cut. New U.S. Treasury Secretary. Tax cuts biggest since Ronald Reagan. 0050. Critics have said big business and tyranners benefit most and criticized the $1.5 trillion it is estimated to add to the deficit due to lost tax revenue. Voices of dissent from Republican senators have now begun to emerge, throwing into question whether the bill will get enough votes in the Senate to pass. Ron Johnson, the Republican senator for Wisconsin, vowed not to vote for the current package, adding, "If they can pass it without me, let them." Bob Corker and Jeff Flake, 2 fierce internal critics of Mr. Trump, have questioned the impact the bill would have on the country's deficit. The unexpected inclusion of the repeal of a key part of Obamacare, the individual mandate which demands almost everyone get health insurance, has also angered some Republicans. Paul Ryan, the Republican House Speaker, credits Zach Gibson Bloomberg senators who voted against the repeal earlier this year, such as former Republican presidential nominee John McCain, have indicated concern at the move. Mr. Trump has warned in private phone calls with congressmen that their re-election races next year will be much harder if they fail to approve the tax cuts, but the bill's collapse would also damage the U.S. president himself, given he is under pressure to prove he can pass major legislation. Republicans hold majorities in the Senate and the House of Representatives as well as the White House, meaning only party splits can rob them of success. Paul Ryan, the Republican leader of the House of Representatives, said the law was the single biggest thing we can do to grow the economy, to restore opportunity and to help these middle-income families that are struggling. If the legislation passes, it will be the first major tax overhaul in America for 3 decades. The last was passed when Ronald Reagan was president.